And we are live. This is UFC St. Louis, Choi versus Stevens, Bro Picks. This is Ricky.
What's up, guys? This is Justin. We're back, first card of the year, and it's a pretty good card, man. You know, it's on free TV. It's on Sunday. A lot of people think it's on Saturday, but no, it's on Sunday. And yeah, man, let's get this card or let's get this night started, man. With with a good card. So, anything you want to talk about, in 2017 before we talk about this card?
It's like my first year of tracking my bets. I didn't do that well. I went 4 units plus, so it's pretty much breaking even. Still in the green though, so it's better than being negative. So I don't know. It's my first year tracking too, so I'm still new to the game, trying to pick my spots better. Yeah, man. But overall, I think I learned some stuff, and I'm ready to do better this year. What about you?
Yeah, man. Last year was my first year tracking too. I finished, I think, plus 14.50 overall, plus 30.37 for the year. And yeah, man, I made some jobber plays, but you learn from your mistakes, and I'm gonna try my best not to make any parlays out there this year. If I do, I mean, I'm gonna learn my lesson if I lose. So parlays, man, just not my thing anymore, man. I mean, I'd rather bet them straight. Like I feel like it's safer, but I'm not all about betting someone minus 300 straight. That's not me. But I think the worst I'll bet someone maybe like minus 200. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. But let's start off with the first fight tonight. We got um, Kang, I know I butchered that name, versus Guido Cannetti. This is a pretty tough fight to call. Both these guys are, facing very long layoffs. Cannetti's not that good in my opinion. He's like 39 years old. Um, if both these guys were, not facing layoffs, I think it'd be Kang easy money all day. But they're both facing long layoffs. I'm gonna stick with Kang though. I do think that he's the better fighter overall. Before he went on his long layoff, he was looking like the best Kang we've ever seen. The way he beat Tanaka, and he's way bigger than Cannetti too. I just don't think Cannetti's that good. I know he trains Team Alpha Male, but I don't think he's anything impressive. And I think Kang can go out there and get a KO, but I'm not gonna trust a guy that's like minus what 340 or whatever he is. So I'm picking Kang to win, but I'm not extremely confident in the pick. What about you?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I'll probably go with Jung Ho Kang just because I think he's like you said, he looked a little bit better before the layoff. Both of these guys are coming off a long layoff, so it's kind of sketchy to bet such a big favorite after that. So me favorite King. Next fight. What do you have as it? What do you have as the next fight?
Santiago versus Bernal.
Yeah, Santiago. Yeah, Matt Bernal versus Mike Santiago. It's a pass for me too. What about you?
Yeah, it's a big pass. Both these guys are jobbers in my opinion. Santiago went on a pretty big win streak, but I mean before that, he had a bunch of losses. The guy's been subbed like 8 times, I think. Zabit smoked him, but obviously that's a beat. But I mean, he's lost. He has a lot of losses, and I know he's beaten. He went on a good win streak, but they're all against jobbers, and I don't think Bernal's that good either, though. But I do think that Bernal's a pretty good submission game, and I do think that he's gonna be the bigger guy. So, I think Bernal can go out there and get him down, tap him out. So, I don't think that Santiago's good enough to set the takedown. So, I'm gonna go with Mads Bernal. I think he's gonna get him down and get a sub, and yeah, he's the underdog too. But I'm not touching this fight from a betting perspective. So next fight we have Danielle Diamond Eye Taylor versus JJ Aldrich. Yeah, I got Taylor here, man. I was actually thinking about betting her at plus 110. I think it's plus 105 now, but I'm gonna pass. I went back and watched the tape on JJ. Initially, I didn't think this year was that good. I know Jamie Moyle beat her, and I picked Moyle there. But yeah, man, JJ's striking's pretty good, man. I mean, she trained with Rose, but she has good striking, man, and I feel like Danielle Taylor has good striking too, but JJ does have the reach advantage. But I feel like it's gonna be a close fight either way. But I do see that Danielle Taylor using her movement and frustrated JJ. I mean, people that beat JJ, I'm sorry, people that JJ beat, they just stand right in front of her. I don't think Taylor's gonna do that. I mean, Taylor is gonna use her angles and dance all around. But then again, JJ, has a good jab, and I can see JJ touching her up too. So it's a close fight, man. And I don't think JJ's a scrub like I thought she was. I really thought she was, and I went back and watched the tape. I don't think she's that bad. So, um, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Danielle Taylor. She is one of the heaviest hitters in the division, and if she tags JJ, I can definitely see her dropping her. And JJ is a fish out of water on the ground, and Danielle Taylor has some good wrestling. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Danielle Taylor by a unanimous decision. What about you?
Um, I didn't know Danielle Taylor had good wrestling. I've never really seen her use it in her fights. She seems to just strike, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's a striker, but I mean, she does have wrestling, but she doesn't use it like in that many fights. But she has it in her back pocket. Like she has more wrestling than JJ. So I mean, if someone's gonna go for the takedowns here, it's gonna be Danielle.
Because to me, that's like her only path to victory. Because I do think JJ is the better striker here. She's taller, she's longer, So I just think she has better striking than her. Danielle Taylor is kind of one dimensional. She has an overhand right, but she has good movement. She is athletic, so that's a lot for the women's division. It's going to be a close fight. I'm not betting it at it at all, but I do think JJ Aldrich is going to be able to use that height to her advantage, jab her up, and probably outpoint her to a close decision. But who knows? Danielle Taylor might land the heavy shots, but that's why it's a huge pass for me. But I'm going to go with JJ because she's just taller. I think eventually Danielle Taylor's shortness is gonna be too much of a disadvantage for her when it gets to better competition. I don't know if it's going to be against JJ Aldrich, but I do know that she is 5 inches taller than her, and that can make a big difference when it comes to striking, man. So I'm going to go with JJ. Next fight, I got Talita Bernardo versus Irene Aldana. Is that who you got?
Yeah.
Is it the next fight? Yeah. To be honest, I don't really know much about Talita Bernardo, but Irene Aldana, I think she's not that good at all. She's kind of like overrated, I think. She lost against Leslie Smith, and she lost against Kaylin Chukagian, So she's supposed to be a big deal. I haven't seen anything yet. She could be a big wash. But both of these girls have losses. So, you know what? I'm going to go with Irene Aldana to get her first win. Even though it's a toss-up, huge pass. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I did not watch tape for this fight. I don't care about this fight at all. I'm sure a lot of people don't either. So yeah, I'll just pick Aldana because she has experience. But yeah, they're both terrible jobbers, and I mean, they're just not good. So next fight we got Kalindra Faria versus Jessica I. Another fight that it's kind of a weird fight because Jessica I is pretty bad. The girl's like 1-6. She could easily be 0-7. You say you should fade her every fight, but Faria's not that good at all, in my opinion. I watched the tape. I'm not impressed, and I'm not confident in betting her plus money. So I'm gonna go with go on a limb here and say that Jessica I gets back in the win column. I think she wins an ugly split decision, and I actually hope she does win because then we can fade her in the future. So then we can get her, against Marion Renault or some girls like that, and Marion Renault would destroy her. So, yeah, man, I got Jessica I by an ugly split decision. I think that she makes it ugly in there, and maybe uses her wrestling because Fury doesn't have the best takedown defense. I mean, make no mistake about it, I's gonna be the bigger fighter here for sure. So she might be able to use that size. And you know, her striking is pretty terrible, but you know, I just don't think Faria is that good. So I'm gonna have to go with that. I think she's gonna make it ugly in there. But there's no way I'm touching this fight. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Both of these girls suck, and it's a huge pass for me. But I'm gonna go with Jessica because she's got more UFC experience.
All right, man. Call the next one.
Next fight is finally a fucking fight that I fucking care about. Unfortunately, Thiago Alves for Zach Cummings. Um, I think Thiago Alves is kind of weird. You know, I think he should have retired. He's kind of old. You know, he came back. You know, pre-USADA, this fool was juiced up like everyone knows. Then post-USADA, I don't know what happened. He came back, and at 155 against Jim Miller, he lost. Then he went back up to 170. You know, I think he went down to 155 because he couldn't hang with the welterweights today. You know, because they, you know, as any sport like continues to grow, you know, athletes get better. You know what I mean? Like if you look at like any other sport like football today and you compare it to 20 years ago, the football athletes today are a little better than the athletes before, you know? So I think this is the kind of case with MMA, especially since it's been growing so much, man. I think that that it's going to be hard to keep up against Zach Cummings for Thiago Alves. You know, he fought against Jim Miller and he fought against Patrick Cote. Like both of these guys are old as fuck too, you know, at least in the MMA game. You know, Zach Cummings, he's newer, he's up and coming, you know. He's fought the better. His recent fight. I mean, back in the day, Thiago Alves did fight for the title, but I mean, recently he's fought older people and like he hasn't really fought good people. Zach Cummings has been in there with Vanzant, you know. So I'm gonna have to go with Zach Cummings, Ben, and I think he's gonna dominate him. The only thing I'm worried about is Thiago Alves has those leg kicks. Got good leg kicks, but I think Zach Cummings is going to be too big for him. He's going to eat up his shots, walk right through it, and fucking hit him hard, man. And I don't think Thiago Alves is going to be able to respond well to that. I think Cummings is just going to be too big, too much for him. And I got Cummings in the play later on, man. It's a fade to old people in St. Louis. So I got Zach Cummings. What about you?
Yeah, man, I got Zach Cummings too. You know, I don't really like the line at minus 200, and you know, I'm trying to stay away from parlays because they burned me in the past. That's just me, but you know, I do see him getting the win for sure. He's one of my most confident picks tonight. Thiago Alves is on the decline for sure. The guy wins a fight, loses a fight. I mean, the guy, you know, drops down the lightweight and then gets, in my opinion, I mean, he did not look good in that fight at all. I mean, Jim Miller, I mean, dominated him, you know, so a lot of people are saying that, oh, he didn't look that bad. He looked pretty terrible, man. I mean, he killed himself to make that weight, and I think it was a desperation move, you know. Historically, when he fights guys like Cummings, he loses. I mean, you know, it's a bad matchup for Thiago Alves. I mean, Cummings has for sure the grappling advantage, the wrestling advantage. He's way bigger than him. It's going to be like a light heavyweight versus a welterweight in that cage. And, you know, historically, he doesn't do good against aggressive guys that can take him down. And, you know, Cummings is a very good chin. I think he's going to eat all the shots that Thiago throws, and Cummings throws power too. And I think Cummings is going to get him down. That's the smartest path for victory for Cummings. I think he's going to get him down, tap him out. Cummings is a beast on the ground. The guy's a black belt, nasty jiu-jitsu. That triangle he hit against Yakovlev, that was fucking nasty. And then that Dars against Choi, yeah, he's beating jobbers, but I mean, he's lost to two dudes in the UFC, Gunnar Nelson and Ponzi. Thiago Alves is not on that level, and he's never been on that level. So I just think Cummings, you know, has the better chin. I think he hits harder, and I think he's more well-rounded. So, yeah, man, I just don't think Alves can take, you know, those shots that Cummings throws. Cummings throws bombs, bro. And like I already mentioned, Cummings, the size advantage is going to be big here. Cummings is going to be at least 2 weight classes above him, in my opinion. He's going to be way bigger than him. And Alves on the way out. You know, why didn't he fight Mike Perry? I think he mentally gave up. Like he knew that, you know, Mike Perry was going to beat him, and what happened, man? I mean, he didn't show up. So, yeah, man, I got Cummings, and you're gonna cash because he's definitely one of my most common picks in there. So next up, we got Matt Frevola versus Marco Polo Reyes. Now, this is, a good fight. This is actually a fight I'm really looking forward to. Pre-tape, I picked Frevola just because the guy has a lot of hype, and I didn't think Polo Reyes was that good in my opinion. But then I went back and watched the tape, and I'm actually considering betting Polo Reyes. I mean, I'm picking him here, and I actually think, man, he's gonna win this fight. I mean, Frevola has a lot of hype, dude. The guy gasses out, and I mean, yeah, man, he's beating a lot of jobbers out there, and he has a lot of hype. But Polo Reyes is no slouch. I know James Vick just knocked him out, but I mean, that's James Vick. James Vick's one of the top 15 lightweights in the world, and Polo Reyes is a banger, man. I mean, the guy throws bombs. The guy has a good chin. Even though he just lost against James Vick, I don't think he's out. I don't think he's done, and I do think that he throws bombs on the feet, and if he makes it like a war in there, I think Revola's going to get knocked out in the first round. So I'm going to go with Polo Reyes. I don't understand why people are max betting the Frevola. Like, who's this guy fought? Jobbers.
Mm-hmm.
And he trains with, Sarah Longo, and what's to say that camp's not doing good, Aldrich just got knocked out. Weidman's on the decline. So they're hurting, man, over there. And I just really think that, Polo Reyes is going to make a statement. The only reason why I'm thinking about staying away is because Vic could have changed his life. We don't know. But his boxing's good, man, Polo Reyes. And I think Polo Reyes, is going to make a statement here. So I got Polo Reyes, and I'm thinking about making a play on it because the line is off. I actually thought Polo Reyes would be the favorite. So the fact that he's the dog, like, what? And he's like a good-sized dog, too. So, yeah, I got Polo Reyes. What about you?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really know much about this guy, Matt Frevola or whatever. I wanted to do I need to do a little bit more tape on him, but I did do tape on Polo Reyes, and to be honest, his last two fights were kind of sketchy. He went through a war with that one guy, with that one Asian guy, and then Dong Young Kim. He ended up getting the win, but it was still a war, and then after that, Vic knocked him out. So, but I don't understand why this guy's getting disrespected like that, Polo Reyes. But I'm gonna pick him for the win. I'm just a little hesitant to bet him, just because, like you said, Vic knocked him out. Kim, Young Hung Kim or whatever, fucking went through war with him. But I have to disagree with the camp with Longo and Sarah, because I do think Sarah's a fucking beast, and they're gonna have good people to train with no matter what. So they'll find good jiu-jitsu guys. They'll find good strikers for them. So I do think that's a good camp. That's another reason why I'm a little bit more hesitant to bet Polo Reyes, just because I don't know, those guys are probably gonna come up with a good game plan for that guy. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm just gonna watch and see what this new guy's all about, just because I don't know much about him. We'll see how he does on his UFC debut. But I'm gonna go with Polo Reyes. But I'm a little hesitant to bet it, just because I don't know how he's gonna be after this knockout to Vic and that war with Young Kim.
All right, man. Call the next one.
The next fight, we got James Krause versus Alex White. James Krause just fought Toothless Tom or some shit like that, and then he went to he just got out of the house with the Ultimate Fighter house, try to win some money, but came up short to that guy Jesse, who we all know is on steroids. I mean, watching that fight, that fool was yoked. Watching that show. But anyway, James Krause, I don't know, man. I think he's kind of slowing down a little bit. He's still young, he's still in his prime. But I don't know I don't know. He didn't really look that good against Toothless Tom. I think he could have done a little bit better. To me, it seems like he fights to win, like points. He's like a point fighter. Tags him up. Wasn't really hitting that hard. And got out grappled by Toothless Tom as well. Almost take his back. I don't really know how good his wrestling is. I do think his grappling is better than White. I don't know if he's going to be able to take him down for 3 rounds, though. you know, and keep him down. James Krause has to cut a lot of weight. So I think Alex White might have a little bit more energy there, have a better gas tank. So it's going to be hard to hold him down for 3 rounds. I do think maybe he might get him down the first round, but I think White has the better striking overall. He hits with bad intentions, and he hits to hurt you. He hits to finish, and I think he's going to land the more devastating shots to win the rounds. So I'm gonna go with Alex White, and I got to play on him for. I got to play on him 1 unit bet. I think a plus 130 or plus 140. I'll say all my bets with the proper lines at the end. But I got Alex White.
Yeah, man, this is a very close fight. I've been very back and forth in this fight. You know, initially I wanted to bet Alex White, then I went back and watched the tape, and yeah, I think either guy can win this fight. You know, a couple of days ago I was, you know, initially going to pick Krause, but the more I think about it, I'm going to have to go with White as well. He's the better striker. He definitely has more power. He's more aggressive. He wants it more. I don't even know where Krause's head's at. I mean, the guy wants to coach. I don't even know if the guy wants to fight anymore. He hasn't fought at 155 in 2 years. It's going to be a very bad wake or a very tough wake up for him. And Alex White's huge for 155, man. I mean, I don't even know how he made featherweight. The dude was like walking around at 190 or something like that. Like, the more I think about it, I don't think Krause can be that much bigger than him. He will have the grappling advantage, but is he going to use it? And Shane Campbell was beating this guy on the ground, and Shane Campbell's a kickboxer. So I think, you know, he might be a little more technical on the feet, Krause. You know, he has a good jab, but he just showed that he didn't want it against Tom. He could have, I mean, if you don't finish Tom, like, you don't even belong in the UFC. Like, I'm a fan of Tom because his story, but the dude sucks. He's a jogger, so.
Yeah, he's an easy problem to solve. You know what I mean? His striking, he's very one-dimensional.
Alex White would have went out there.
Lit him up.
Alex White would have knocked him out for sure in the first, second round.
Would have elbowed him in the fucking face.
Yeah, and I cashed on Alex White big against Mitch Clark, 4 units at minus 130. Yeah, the only reason why I'm not betting him is because, you know, I already have 2 other plays and, you know, a huge bet on UFC 220 next weekend. We'll talk about that next card. But so yeah, I'm picking Alex White, and I hope he cash. And I'm a big fan of him, and I think Krause is definitely on his way out. He's on the decline for sure. So yeah, I got Alex White. So first fight of the night. I'm sorry, my bad. Last fight of the prelims. We got Darren the Damage Elkins versus Michael Johnson. Now, this is a pretty good fight, one of the best fights tonight. You got Michael Johnson versus Elkins. You know, Johnson is, you know, going to be the faster guy, the more athletic guy, probably the more power. But I mean, what Michael Johnson's going to show up? The guy that beat, you know, Tony Ferguson, or the guy that, you know, quits against Gagey, quits against Jury. I mean, the guy's so inconsistent. His last 2 fights, I mean, he took so much damage against Khabib and Gagey. And I just think this guy's on his way out, man. He's lost 4 out of 5. I think 145 is a desperation move for him. And dude, I don't even know if he's gonna make the weight, man. He's a big guy, and he's all the stuff he's been saying about, you know, he's never made 145. He's scared. That's huge red flags right there. And I know that, you know, he might have the more skills on the feet, but, you know, Darren Elkins has been on a huge winning streak ever since he trained or moved the team Alpha Male. You know, and for the first round, Michael Johnson should win the fight. But after that, when he gasses, if Elkins makes it out of the first round, which he will, Elkins is gonna, you know, definitely win that second and third. And I think finish Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's a quitter, so I'm gonna have to go with Darren Elkins by a 3rd round finish. I think he makes it ugly and grinds him out and takes him down, beats him up, and, you know, just a TKO win. So yeah, I got Elkins. I'm not confident at all in Michael Johnson. I'm never gonna pick him again. I'm never gonna bet him again. Unless he's fighting Gomi, but that's about it. So yeah, I got Darren Elkins. What about you?
Yeah, I got Darren Elkins as well. Just like you said, just moving down to one. Just when I saw that he was moving down to 145, I thought it was sketchy as well. I was like, oh man, this fool's moving down just because he's getting beat. You know, he's getting beat by these 155ers. He's trying to go down and maybe get a win, like you said, desperation move. Sounds like a broken record, but it's pretty obvious. You know what I mean? I'm sure we're not the only people to think this as well. But fucking, I thought it was sketchy right away. And plus, 155 to 145 is big. these guys are already like fucking cutting a lot of weight to make to 155. Imagine how much he has to cut weight to 145. When you're that small, when you're at 155, cutting down to 145 is a lot more than going down to like from light heavyweight to 185. You know, because 10 pounds is a little bit more percentage of your weight when you're at a lower weight class. So anyway, and these guys are ripped as it is. So these guys are what, losing muscle mass or what, or like they're depleting their bodies, you know. So Michael Johnson's, I don't think it's going to be a healthy weight cut. I had skeptical hippo eyes from the beginning, you know. So and you know, I was a little bit concerned about Michael Johnson's striking. He has good boxing. He's fast. He's got good hands. You know, he was able to put Dustin to sleep. But I mean, Dustin, he doesn't have the best chin anyway. Let's be honest. I think Darren Elkins can take a beating. He likes to go for the clinch right away. So maybe like he's gonna make it ugly in there, bro. He's gonna do a jab and try to clinch him right away and try to grind him. I think Darren Elkins is gonna know what to do. He's gonna come up with a good game plan and he's gonna grind out Michael Johnson. I'm gonna be worried for the first couple minutes, but as soon as Darren Elkins gets the clinch, I think it's going to be good for me from there on. So I got Darren Elkins. I got 1 unit on him as well. And yeah, I either got 130 on him and 140 on Alex White or vice versa. But I got 1 unit on Darren Elkins as well. Be too much for Michael Johnson.
One thing I want to mention is that I think Elkins is really strong. I mean, you know, he's very underrated, dude. The guy is super strong. I mean, I'm telling you right now, he's probably gonna be stronger than Michael Johnson. I think he's gonna be able to take him down. So a lot of people are saying that Michael Johnson's gonna be the way bigger guy and all this. I mean, is he even gonna make 145? Like, he's probably gonna kill himself to make the weight. He's not. I don't think he's gonna look good.
I mean, they're the same height, so he's not gonna be that much bigger.
No, but
maybe wider, a little wider.
Dude, Elkins is a good grappler, man. He's strong, so I think. But
Elkins is a good 145er. You know what I mean? I think Michael Johnson should stay at 155. He's not gonna be as. I mean, he already quit as it is. Imagine how much harder it is gonna be for him to go all 3 rounds at 145 when he's cutting that much weight. Like,
he's coming off 2 beatings too. I mean, Gagey, like, dude,
those beatings were bad.
I mean, I know that, you know, Elkins, you know, took a beating against, you know, Mursad, but I don't think he didn't take that much damage against Bermudez at all. And Bermudez is known, bro, for like a very strong wrestler, and he took him out. He took him down in his own game. You know, it was impressive for sure. And don't give me that bullcrap out there that Bermudez won that fight. Come on, dude. Elkins definitely won that fight.
Elkins won the first 2 for sure.
He lost the 3rd, yeah. So, all right, man. So, first fight of the night, we got Kamaru Usman versus Emil Meek. And, yeah, man, this is, you know, a good fight, you know, one of the best fights of the night. And I took the 1 unit shot on Meek at plus 440. I know he's better now. Kind of jumped the gun a little bit, but, yeah, man, Usman is a good fighter. I'm not going to say he's not. He's obviously a good fighter. He's a good grappler, but the dude's very stiff on the feet. I don't think his striking is that good. A lot of people out there are saying that, oh, man, he's going to destroy Colby Covington and all this. Colby Covington, 30-26, Damien Maia. Do you think Usman can do that? No, and I just don't see it. I think, you know, I don't think Colby's striking is the best. I think it's decent. I don't think it's good, but it's better than Usman's. I don't think Usman's striking is that good at all. Yeah, he knocked out Sergio in his last fight, but that was when has he ever got a knockout besides that fight? He was getting tagged. Go ahead.
Are you breaking down Usman versus Colby right now?
No, I just wanted to bring something up because a lot of people are saying that it's easy money against Colby and all this, and we all know Colby's easy money versus Usman, but we'll talk about that when it happens. But anyway,
it should happen, and to be honest, I'm gonna have to disagree, man. I think it's gonna be a pretty even fight. And might even give the striking advantage to Usman.
I hope it happens.
Might cancel on the grappling.
I hope it happens, but I don't think it's going to happen after Meek knocks him out. So we'll talk about it later. But
Oh,
yeah, man. So Usman is very stiff on the feet. I mean, yeah, he got a knockout, but he wasn't looking that impressive before the knockout. And I mean, he was getting tagged against Sergio Moraes. Sergio Moraes is not a good striker on the feet. And yeah, man, Meek is a pretty good brawler, man. I mean, the dude is huge for the division. I know Usman's big too. Usman better go out there and go out for the takedown right when the fight starts. But I don't think he's going to. He's fallen in love with the striking. And look what he did against Pajares. Pajares went for the takedown and Meek knocked him out with elbows. I mean, the Jordan Bean fight, I think he won every round. Yeah, Meek took him down a couple of times, but he got right back up and he actually beat me with his wrestling. So I don't think, I think Meek's no slouch on the mat. Obviously, Usman has the grappling advantage, but I think he can set the takedowns, and I think he's going to get a first round knockout here. He's just so stiff on the feet, man, Usman. And Meek is cleaner, more power, better combinations, better striker for sure. And I just don't think he's going to be able to take him down. I mean, dude, Usman is a huge dude, but Meek is the bigger guy here. And yeah, if he gets out of the first, I'll be a little worried. But I mean, Meek's cardio is pretty good though too. So I just think he can get a first round knockout here. Can Meek win a decision? I mean, his cardio doesn't look that bad. I think his cardio is actually pretty good. Usman's cardio is pretty good too. But I just think what's going to happen is, he's going to fall in love with the striking. He's so stiff out there. And, Meek's going to go out there and just connect and knock him out. So I got Meek with a first round KO. What about you?
I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm gonna have to go with the favorite, but I'm gonna hope you cash, man. I'm gonna be rooting for Meek, but I have to pick Usman just because I do think he's better. He's a better grappler, and if it does get sketchy on the feet, he can just easily take it down. I think his grappling is levels above. I mean, Emil Meek. To me, he hasn't showed that great striking that you're talking about. Like he when he did win against Jordan Mean, it was mostly because he was like took him down, and when he did take him down, it was like I don't know, it wasn't that impressive. Really, kind of stayed in his guard. But Kamaru Usman, when he takes people down, he looks to pass right away. He's similar. He's a pretty good man. He's similar to Khabib when it comes to grappling. He's like the fucking Nigerian Khabib. But I don't know yet. We'll see. I really want to see him against Colby. That's for another day. But his striking is better than I think you say, man. I watched him against Moraes and he fucking knocked him out, dude. I don't understand how you're saying that it's bad when he got the finish. Like he dropped him early in the fight. And then later on, Moraes was swinging for his fucking life, bro. And he was threw the kitchen sink at him. He did land a couple shots, but Usman walked right through it and knocked him out. So I didn't really see much weakness in there. But definitely can't bet Usman at what -600 or whatever the fuck he is. I just do think his grappling is going to be too good. He might test his striking. If he does, Meek has a puncher's chance. But if Meek starts getting the better of him and he doesn't knock him out, I think Usman can easily take him down and get the win. So I'm going to have to go with Usman just because he has more options.
All right, man.
Next fight. But I hope you cash, bro. I'm not don't mean to pick against you, bro, but I want you to cash. I'm going to be rooting for Meek. We got Paige VanZant versus Jessica Rose Clark. Huge pass for me. It's Paige VanZant. She's like the poster girl for the UFC for the 150 for this division. She's pretty, but to be honest, she doesn't have much skill. She reminds me of she's kind of like Sage Northcutt. But she doesn't have as much skill, more heart. She's a little tougher than Sage Northcutt. To me, Sage Northcutt has skill but no heart. Anyway, Paige VanZant, she doesn't really have much technical skills. I'm going to have to go with Jessica Rose Clark. Get the win. What about you?
Yeah, this is, a close fight, man. This is definitely a close fight. Jessica has the size advantage. She's fought at 145. I don't think she looked that impressive against Beck Rawlings, and I know that Vanzant wasn't looking that good against Beck before she got that KO. But I just think the speed and the athleticism for Vanzant is gonna be able to dictate the fight for her, and I just don't think Jessica Clark is Rose Clark's gonna be able to take her down that easily. And I know Vanzant is a quitter, but the girl is tough, man. I mean, she's a very very tough girl, and I think she took the right amount of time off. I think she's better off at 125. I mean, she was killing herself to make 115. I know a lot of people out there think that Vanzant sucks and all this, which I don't think she's. I definitely think she's on her way out, but I think 125 is better for her. She's a big girl, and I mean, I'm pretty sure against Waterson she like passed out, like trying to make weight. So I just think she could. I mean, it's like one of those gut feelings. Like I don't really have like a solid read on him, which is why there's no way I'm betting on her. But I just have a feeling that she's gonna, win an ugly decision, man. I mean, I don't think she's gonna go out there and finish Clark, but I mean, she's definitely the faster girl, and I think that she can make it ugly in there. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Vanzant, and I see her winning the decision. But don't tell me because it's so close. Like it's not something I'm confident. I don't have a read on it at all.
You're not betting it?
Yeah, I think she wins on the feet. I think Clark has the grappling advantage, but I think that she's a better striker. And
Vanzant fucking can't strike, bro.
Okay, can Jessica Rose Clark strike?
This doesn't matter. Neither of them can strike, I guess.
I think Vanzant has more volume, and I think that she can make it ugly and get the decision win. And let's not say, I mean, the girl's not that bad on the ground either. I mean, her grappling's decent.
She has one like head and arm throw. That's about it.
Yeah,
but like she can make it ugly in there. She can make it ugly in there. She can.
Yeah, I don't think Jessica Clark is that good. They go 7-4. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't think the girl's that impressive. So I'm gonna have to go Vanzant making it ugly. So next fight we got Uriah Hall versus Vitor Belfort. Yeah, it's a huge pass for me. I'm gonna go with Uriah Hall. I do think he's gonna get the job done, but I mean, God, you trust the guy, especially at -300. I won't even trust him at plus money against Vitor Belfort because I do think he's gonna win. But what Hall's gonna show up? The dude was easily gonna be on like a 4-fight losing streak, and then I don't even know how he beat Jocko. I bet Jocko. I was screaming when Jocko almost knocked him out, and then he gasped bad, and then Uriah Hall just knocked him out. I mean, that was crazy. But there's a lot of guys in the division that I bet against Uriah Hall. I just don't think Uriah Hall's. I definitely think he's on the decline. The guy just doesn't have that killer instinct anymore. I mean, on his best night, he can knock out, Masasi, and then, he can lose to choppers like John Howard and I don't know, man, Rafael Natal. But yeah, Belfort's on his way out too. The dude's already said he's retiring after this fight. The guy sucks. The guy's done. Chris Weidman broke him. So yeah, I got Uriah Hall, but it actually won't surprise me if Belfort wins. But I don't think he's going to. So I got Uriah Hall, and he will be on all my DraftKings lineups. What about you?
I got Uriah Hall. I parlayed him with Zach Cummings. I'm telling you, man, I'm fading these guys that are coming off of steroids, that are older, coming off of steroids. I just don't feel it, man. I think these guys are gonna lose. It's Vitor Belfort has that one flurry at the beginning that's all I'm worried about. If Uriah Hall can get past that, I mean, it's not gonna be much. It's not gonna be too hard. He can beat him, man. Yeah, I know Uriah Hall has had some hiccups in the past. He's not very dependable, but this is a fade on Belfort. This is not a bet. I mean, this is like the spot right here. Like you said, it's not fucking. I wouldn't trust Uriah Hall against many people, but I do trust him against Belfort. All Belfort has is that one flurry. He doesn't have grappling anymore. He's showing up for a paycheck. He's gonna retire. I don't know, man. This guy's been fucked up too many times, dude. I think he's done. Uriah Hall has more technique than him. I think he's the better striker. He probably even has a better grappling. So, yeah, man, I did parlay him with Zach Cummings, and I got -104 for the parlay. So to be honest, I don't think it's that bad, and I put 1 unit on it. So I think it's gonna make this fight card a little bit more interesting. So I got Uriah Hall, man, and I think he's gonna make it easy in there. As long as he gets past that flurry, it'll be easy for him after that. So Uriah Hall with the finish.
I think Hall has a good chin too, man. The guy's tough, dude. The guy has a lot of heart. I mean, he took a beating against Jocko and then came back and got that KO. So he's not a quitter. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say he's a quitter. He dropped the ball, but he's not a quitter like Vitor Belfort. Belfort's a quitter.
To me, that fight against Jocko showed a lot of improvement for Hall, because I think back in the day he probably, I don't know, it just showed that he was willing to dig deep, and stay in there and get the win. So yeah, man.
You're right, man. I hope he cashed. I think you're gonna cash. So let's go, Hall.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, man.
Next
All right, man.
fight.
Call the main event.
Main event. We got Jeremy Stephens versus Duho Choi. Duho Choi, he hasn't really been that active recently. He fought against Cub Swanson, I think was his last fight. I don't know. To me, that seems like a while ago, right? That was December 10th, 2016. It was a year ago, I guess.
Over a year ago.
Yeah, it's not that bad. He's a very exciting fighter. He has 2 performance of the night, but yeah, he has a pretty good solid chin on him. He survived that fight, but I wonder how it's going to be against a heavy hitter like Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens, though, it's really hard to trust him. It's pretty easy he's pretty basic. It's kind of easy to make a game plan against him. But he does have these nice leg kicks, man. He fucked up Gilbert Melendez pretty bad when they fought, and I don't know, man. I wonder how Duho Choi is going to handle it. But I'm gonna have to go with Duho Choi with the win, just because he's got more volume, he's got the better hands, and he's got a good chin on him. So if he does get tagged, I think he'll be able to handle it. Movement, he can't get into a firefight, and I think he can outbox him.
Yeah, man, I got 3 units on Choi at -170, and I will be worried if he goes out there and fights Jeremy like how he fought Cub, because if he does that, yeah, it's not going to look good for him, because Jeremy Stephens is good at wars, but the way you beat Jeremy Stephens, I mean, the blueprint's out there. I mean, if Choi shows up and has good fight IQ, and if Choi shows up by how he fought, Tavares and other 2 jobbers he fought, he's going to win this fight. I mean, the guy's the better striker here. He's the more technical striker. He has more power. He's faster out there. And yeah, I know he lost to Cub Swanson, but Cub Swanson's a better fighter than Stephens. Cub Swanson, is a better boxer than Jeremy Stephens. Choi took a year off. I mean, he took a year off, the punishment, and also, I mean, the dude, in my opinion, I mean, he's a young kid. I mean, I'm sure he's improved his game, and he's gonna, look like the patient striker he is. And I mean, he's not gonna fight like how he fought Cub. And even though he's coming off the Cub fight, I mean, the dude dropped Cub multiple times. I mean, it was a crazy fight. I actually think he won the first round. I do think he lost the 2 rounds, but he showed a lot of heart in that fight. He has a good chin, and I mean, Jeremy Stephens. I mean, yeah, he has a lot of knockouts, but I mean, he hasn't really knocked out anyone lately, man. So he has, showed very good weight kicks, but a lot of people are saying that Choi gasses out. I mean, yeah, he gassed out 1 fight against Cub Swanson. So I think the Choi we're gonna see here is a Choi that smoked Tavares, the Choi that smoked Cecilia. So because he's definitely the more technical striker for sure. He definitely has more power. He's faster, and dude, those counters, man, are impressive. So. I think what's going to happen here is, Stephens is going to walk him down, be the aggressor, and Choi's going to knock him out with the counter. So, yeah, man, I got the better striker, and the kid's young. I'm sure he's improved on his game, and his fight IQ is going to be way better. So, if he doesn't brawl, he's going to win this fight. So, I got Duho Choi, 3 units at -170, and let's get it. So, my 2 plays are going to be Choi and Meek, and tell us your plays again.
Let me bring him up right now. Would tell us your units in the line?
I got 3 units at -170, and I have 1 unit at +440 for Meek.
That's nice, man. I hope you hit that +440, dude.
Thanks, man.
I got 1 unit Elkins at plus 135 to win 1.35 units. 1 unit White at plus 140. 1 unit Hall. Cummings at minus 104 to win 0.96.
Let's
Get
get
it,
it,
man.
guys. First night or first card of the year, and next week we have a very good card. I have a 4-unit play on Volkan Ozdemir versus DC. I changed my unit size this year for $50 a unit, so that's $200 right there to win like I don't know 4 something. So yeah, man, it's a big bet, man. I don't want to really get into it right now, but I think Volkan's gonna go out there and get another first minute finish. So we'll talk about it next week, and hope you all cash and let's get it, guys.